season in coaching where you've had to deal with so many injuries and so much turmoil at places like quarterback, but have yet been so successful on the field?
I can't remember this many sort of key injuries to running backs with Marcus and Sean Carson and backup fullback Matt Coffey. We had 3 knees in the running back category. I never remember that many, really probably on the entire team. But again, we've got good quality backup players, and Brandon Wiles, of course, stepped in there and did very well. And if we've had some injuries at the other positions, the other guys have stepped in there. And we've, we haven't been overly impressive in a lot of wins, but I think it's neat that we're winning the close games now. We certainly haven't always done that around here. And I certainly haven't been winning all the close ones around here either. We've won a few, but we've won a little bit more than our share this year.
Steve, you've got a lot of first-year players who will be playing. Do you worry about them understanding the rivalry, and do you see anything extra to them this week?
No, I think most of these guys grew up in South Carolina, so they know the rivalry of the two schools. I think, honestly, it might have been a little bit bigger for South Carolina when South Carolina was independent, and that was the one game of the year. Whereas now we're in a conference. About the last 20 years we've been in a conference, and conference play is important also. But at the end of the year, this turns into the biggest game. If you're not in the conference championship game, this becomes the biggest game of the year for us.
Phil. Steve, with this being the last game for the seniors, I'm wondering if you've had any conversations with the Garcia family and if they have any plans on coming in?
If we have or we haven't, we'll talk about that a little later. Okay.
Steve, you talked about the line of scrimmage. You guys have played so many young players up there. When you have to, in a situation where you have to play freshmen and some true sophomores, start them on the offensive line, is that a bad place to be in? Would you rather get it to where you're moving guys in as juniors, et cetera?
Well, you can live with freshman offensive linemen if you don't throw the ball 40 times a game. If you're going to try to throw 40 a game, you might say, "Ooh, what are we doing?" And we realize that's just not what we can do right now. So we have been able to run it pretty well, as you know. We run the ball effectively. Not super. We don't have any long runs. I wish we could pop a 50 or 60 every now and then. Well, Connor did. I think Connor's got the longest run of the year last week. But running the ball gives you a chance, and our defense has played very well all year. And, of course, we struggled against the triple option, which almost everyone does, it seems like. Somebody told me Georgia Southern ran for 300 yards against Alabama. Did y'all know that? It makes that. Oh, I think Southern only got 276 against us. And they've been averaging 291. So maybe you look at it in perspective, they seem to... those teams just seem to go up and down the field when they play against teams that don't see it every week, I guess. But anyway, that game's behind us now, and we won't have to worry about that until we play Wofford next year. And they'll probably go up and down the field the way they usually have against us. But again, we don't have to worry about that till next year.
What are your thoughts on this trend of playing fast? There's like 40 or 50 teams that are doing it now, and when you look at them, it's not a magic elixir, Some of them have bad records, some of them have good records. But
yeah,
just your thoughts on sort of the idea of the trend.
I think it's certainly a way to be successful. It's not the only way. It's a way to score a lot of points, obviously. The other side is that, if you score quickly, then your defense has got to play a lot more. And that's the other side of it. But as we all know, there's all kind of different ways to win football, basketball, every sport really. And running the ball and playing very good defense and scoring touchdowns in red zone is a very good way to win. If you can do it that way, or if you speed up and can win 56 to 49 or 45, that's another way to do it. And I think as coaches, we just you try to see what your players do best and put them in position that way to try to win the game that week.
What's that concern you got about your kicking game, kickoff?
Yeah, we're pretty concerned about it. We've been concerned about our punting pretty much all year, and Joey Scribner-Howard has actually done a pretty good job. He doesn't punt it a long way too often, but he gets it out, and we've been okay in punting. Our kickoff coverage is embarrassing that we can't get a bunch of guys down there to sort of converge on the ball and keep them inside the 30. And we just miss a lot of tackles, and it seems like we go down there and get blocked a lot. But that's just sort of where we are in that area. I thought we would be better this year, and after the East Carolina game, we all thought maybe we'd be better. But it has not worked out. Coach Butler has an excellent scheme of things. I think he's an excellent coach, and we got to, next spring, we got to make a better effort of really, I know I'm probably going to say, well, Coach, you said that a year ago, and I said, yeah, I did. Putting our starters on the special teams. It seems like we always get the backup guys, and they just don't quite do as well. But anyway, that's something we got to get our best athletes on special teams, guys who make tackles. You know, they miss a lot of tackles out there at times, and we get blocked a lot. And I think right now we've got 3 or 4 walk-on kids covering kickoffs because they seem to be the best we got for some reason. But anyway, that's something we got to work through these next 2 games and then readdress it before next season.
Steve, do you feel better coming off the game last week that your offense would possibly be capable of winning a shootout game this week against a team that, has put up a lot of points against people? Or is that sort of, you take it for a grain of salt last week?
Well, certainly, Citadel, they had no pass rush, as you know. They brought the corner off the edge a couple times, so that was the only threat they had. But their kids play tough inside now. They played tough, and we couldn't knock them backwards at times. But we did have plenty of time if we elected to throw some passes. But Clemson's got some pass rushers now. They got some guys flying off the edges that will give us a lot of problems if we're trying to throw 40 times or something like that. So we got to be smart about how we try to throw the ball. We know that, and so it's maybe gave us a little confidence we could hit a few balls here and there. But it wasn't a great passing game last week by any means. Even though 16 out of 18 sounds pretty good, we still didn't hit a lot of balls I thought we should have. And again, they didn't even get thrown as sometimes that you wish they would have. But I tell you one thing, the Connor running with the ball on that 4th and 9 was a huge play, and Brandon catching that ball on 3rd and 10 for 9 yards. I mean, we look back on that game, it was a lot closer than 41-20, as I'm sure all of you guys that were there will attest. It was a close game.
Demir Berg got what I think was his first kick return. Does he stand a chance to get back in there this week?
Yeah, we may put him back there. Yeah, Demir, gosh, we thought we would get more out of him or we'd be using him more, but again, that's another thing. It hadn't worked out. Alshon hadn't had as many balls thrown at him as we thought. Really, none of those receivers have had a whole bunch of them. But that's just kind of team we are right now. And we're going to try to continue being the team we've been. So we're not going to change a lot of stuff. We are what we are for this season, and our guys have done an excellent job of playing well when the games are on the line. And that's the big reason we're 9-2.
Coach, when you're at Florida, was there a particular senior class maybe that set the tone for the success that went on later? And does this senior class here have that potential or knack to do something like that?
Well, I hope so. Actually, the first year at Florida, the players were there. I mean, I was very fortunate to step into a team just sitting there ready to go. And so that, I think we ended up 9-2 that year. And but anyway, we were able to pretty much continue as far as having a lot of good players. But they did, yeah. There was a lot of seniors on that first one, and then the second one also. But yeah, they showed a good example. But then it's up to the players really on their own. I don't know if you can learn leadership. I mean, you can learn a little bit, but then it's pretty much the makeup of the individual. You know, we can learn a little bit about how to do it, but it's and a lot of our guys do it very quietly, which is okay also. Just play your assignment, play full speed. That's the best way to be a leader right there.
Different subject. How about assessing the way Connor's played? You know, the first game against East Carolina, a couple of fumbles hurt, but how about his development since he's gotten back in the starting line?
He's played about like we thought he would play. You know, we watch him practice all the time for 2 years now, and that's why he started the season. He practiced better than Steven had, but he's coming around. He's coming around, and as we know now, he can really run with the ball, and that's a big part of our offense. Him running, and again, that's he's done a very good job. Takes care of the ball well. I don't know if he's fumbled since that first game, has he? Hope not. So maybe he got that one out of the way that first quarter in Charlotte. But yeah, he's a good player. You know, he led his high school team. I think they got beat in the semifinals before the state championship. So the kid, he's been around winning teams. He knows something how to play like a winner.